Everyone knows John Mobley Jr. can shoot. That's not the interesting part. Even last year, scoring 15.7 points per game in 31 games, shooting the ball at a 43% clip from the field and 41% from deep, there's more to the story behind John Mobley Jr.'s shooting. He had a 65.7% three-point attempt rate, and he improved his scoring inside. The interesting part with John Mobley Jr. is why he gets so many open looks. It's not luck, and it's not just because he's a great shooter. Ohio State's offense is designed to weaponize him in ways most fans never notice. Today, we're breaking down exactly how the Buckeyes create these shots and why John Mobley Jr. could have a huge junior season. Welcome to the first edition of Views from the Schott Film Room. Instead of just talking about Ohio State basketball, we're going to break down the tape and show you exactly what the Buckeyes are doing on the court. It's a unique look at the Ohio State Buckeyes under Jake Diebler. So encourage you to subscribe if you've never been here on the Views from the Schott podcast. Encourage you to like the video as well and stick with me throughout as we get into this with John Mobley Jr. So this first example is not necessarily going to be all that impressive, but it is going to set up who John Mobley Jr. is as a player. So Ohio State's Devin Royal has just pulled down an offensive rebound right there for Ohio State. John Mobley Jr. is right here. You're going to see Bruce Thornton re-enter the frame here in a second, somewhere around here. Again, this play is really just designed to set up who John Mobley Jr. is as a player. So Bruce Thornton, he's going to get the ball swung to him here. And here's what you're going to see initially, all right? Donovan Dent, I believe, is the player guarding Bruce Thornton here. He's got a decision to make. Bruce Thornton's already into a pump fake here on a three, or maybe he's going to take it. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Donovan Dent can hard close out here with high hands, or not even high hands, but just leap and try to affect Bruce Thornton's shot. He can go with a short closeout here with high hands and protect against a drive. He can try to funnel help or even bait a three, whatever the case may be here for Donovan Dent. He's got some decisions here that need to be made. Now, what's going to happen here is Bruce Thornton's decision is going to force UCLA's defense as a whole, which is all kind of packed in at this point. It's going to force them into a decision as well. One thing that you should notice here is that John Mobley Jr. standing over here, he's going to relocate, or maybe he already has a little bit. He relocates just a little bit to provide more spacing for Ohio State. The spacing off of an offensive rebound at this point is really, really strong between Bruce Thornton and John Mobley Jr. Here's what you're going to see. All right, Donovan Dent, he's going to close out hard and he's going to jump, meaning Bruce Thornton, he's going to have a three-point opportunity here, but he's smart. Bruce Thornton, now playing hopefully in the NBA here in a couple of months, he's smart. He's got a decision here that's forced into Eric Daly Jr. What does he do now? Now that you've got Donovan Dent, who's completely out of position, does Eric Daly Jr. stay attached to his man, John Mobley Jr., one of the best three-point shooters in all of the Big Ten? Or does he decide, I'm going to hard crash here against Bruce Thornton and hope that one of my guys over here can rotate and clean up John Mobley Jr. on the play side? Here's what we see happen with Eric Daly Jr. When he's got a decision to make, he's going to attack Bruce Thornton. John Mobley Jr., by the way, notice this right here. Notice his hands. Notice his toes. They're pointed toward the basket. That's exactly what you want to be in a strong shooting position. His legs slightly bent, ready to fire away, and his hands are all ready. Exactly what you want to see from a three-point shooter, especially a successful one like John Mobley Jr. Let's get into the play. He's going to catch, and he's ready to fire. I mean, look at the spacing, too, at this point. There's no chance that John Mobley Jr. would ever pass up this shot. You got two players right here. You've got, what, at least 10 feet of distance here. You've got, what, another 20 or so feet between whoever this guy is for UCLA trying to get out to John Mobley Jr., and he's probably seeing dollar signs at this point as John Mobley Jr. in his eyes. He's going to have the opportunity to fire away. I mean, look at this. There's no one near him, and he'll take this shot again. Neither player even contests this shot. Neither of these guys are contesting this shot against John Mobley Jr. They know they're too far away. John Mobley Jr. fires away, and he makes a shot. So this is what we see from John Mobley Jr. It sets the foundation. Again, it's not the most impressive play that you're going to see necessarily from John Mobley Jr. in this one. But again, the whole goal of this video is to show why John Mobley Jr. is so freaking impressive and how he helps Ohio State, not just as a shooter, but how his three-point shooting develops and aids Ohio State in other aspects of the offense. So we'll get into that. Next video we got here, we got a couple clips from a Minnesota game last season. John Mobley Jr. is right here. Minnesota is in a 2-3 zone. That's going to take forever to get those dots off, so please hold with me. What you're going to see is you're going to see John Mobley Jr. kind of fake that he's going to go in maybe to the elbow or maybe reinsert himself out here. Instead, he's going to fake in, and then he's just going to gradually drift out to the three-point line. Now, while at the same time, Ohio State is going to use Amari Bynum to go away from the play side. He's going to come into the play side as he's going to flash here at the elbow. And what you'll see a lot of times in a 2-3 zone is while Amari Bynum, he's gonna have a chance to get the ball here. And one thing you can do if Bynum gets the ball here is you can go to a high-low down to Ivan Nagovin as well. You'll have decisions, and then you'll also have decisions for Amari Bynum to swing it to away from the play side to the weak side of the floor in case this guy right here decides to come in with Amari Bynum and he gives into the eye candy. So let's see what unfolds on this play. Remember, John Mobley Jr. here, he's going to insert and then leave to the weak side of the play. Let's see what we get happen here before John Mobley Jr. even gets the ball in his hands. So Amari Bynum, he's going to flash. Now you're going to see, again, you're going to see an attachment here with this player. He comes up and he goes to Amari Bynum. If we go back a little bit, watch this defender. Amari Bynum comes in and he follows. He's sticking with him. Now the ball's going to get swung at this point. Look at Gabe Cupps. Man, Gabe Cupps, he's a legend in Ohio State lore. Gabe Cupps is going to make a decision here before the ball's even in his hands, and he's going to say, I got to get this ball to my shooter, John Mobley Jr. Look at John Mobley Jr. He's over here. At this point, he's making his way over to the three-point line as well. And let's get back into the play here. John Mobley Jr. has an opportunity. Boom. And again, this is what happens when you're in this 2-3 zone. This is too much space for a guy like John Mobley Jr. Got maybe 5 feet of room here. By the time the shot gets off, you have a closeout, but it's not enough. You need much more of a closeout on a guy like John Mobley Jr. Now, he makes a shot, of course. I think we know that at this point. But again, it all comes from Ohio State having the wherewithal to make Minnesota make a decision. This guy right here, number 3 on Minnesota. If we're in the season, I remember this guy's name, but it's a new year, so I forget it. He's got a decision to make. He attaches to Amari Bynum. John Mobley Jr. relocates. And another really good thing that John Mobley Jr. does is a lot of times it'll be easy and natural to say, I'm going to come up to the wing. I'm not going to float back here to the corner. I'm going to come up to the wing because that's just where it feels more natural for me. It's a little bit more of an easier angle as well. That's not what John Mobley Jr. does. He's ready to catch and shoot, and he fires and he hits the shot. Boom. Next play. Okay, this is also in a Minnesota game. Now, Minnesota not necessarily zoned up, but you see again, they're just they are packing it in. You've got 3 defenders who are, I mean, they're not even at the block. And then you got one here, which means that there's going to be a decision point again for Minnesota defenders to have to make. This is something that offensively, this is what you want to see teams doing, is you want to see teams force defenses into a bind and have to make a decision, and then it's on you as an offense to read that and make the correct decision. So Christoph Tilly, he's got the ball here. Colin White, former friend of the show. I still think he is a friend of the show. I'd have to ask him. He's going to get the ball. Nice little 45 cut here from Colin White. He's got the back of his defender, so he says, I'm going to go into the rim. And here we go again. Decision point. And we're picking on number 3 again from Minnesota, unfortunately, but he's got a decision point here. So you can see Devin Royal, he can kind of see into the basket, make a little C cut, is what it's a lot of times known as, where you go from kind of the high painted area into the low painted area. Colin White, he gets the ball in his hands. John Mobley Jr. again, he's ready to get a shot off here. If needed, you're gonna have to relocate. You're gonna have to find the best angle to get the pass in. But what you'll see again, number 3, he's going to come up here and he's going to help. And number 6, he's got his back to John Mobley Jr. And quite frankly, he's got his back to Bruce Thornton as well, which means either of those guys could just, I guess this would be a 45 cut from John Mobley Jr. Bruce Thornton as well, if we weren't clogged up in the paint, he could go with a backdoor cut as well to find his way into the basket. But Minnesota is just all sorts of out of position here. And what you'll see is Colin White will find John Mobley Jr., who's just going to inch over to the corner a little bit to give himself a little bit more room. And look at this. At this point, who's stopping John Mobley Jr.? Ball's in the hands. Number 3 was too far down into the paint. And again, I mean, when you have your back, 2 players, number 6 here has got his back to Bruce Thornton and John Mobley Jr. You're watching the ball. Ball's going to go out to John Mobley Jr. and you're flat-footed. You are completely flat-footed. John Mobley Jr. is going to have an opportunity to fire away and hit the 3. So that's an area where we're seeing John Mobley, whether it be the UCLA game or in this Minnesota game, being able to find the exact right spot to relocate to and get a shot off as well. All right, so now we are back to the UCLA game. John Mobley Jr. right here. We're going to see now how Ohio State uses dribble handoff in order to get open looks as well for John Mobley Jr. So we'll see a little a drive, and Amari Bynum decides to bring it back out here. I guess technically not a dribble handoff, but it basically is. And what you're going to see here is a lot of times on these dribble handoffs and on these pick and rolls, for the player receiving the ball, for the guard, for the primary ball handler, they have to be excellent decision makers. And this is something that you see from John Mobley Jr. in this play. Now, you're going to see Donovan Dent here try to shoot the gap and try to put some pressure on John Mobley Jr. John Mobley Jr. takes the ball, and you're going to see, I wouldn't necessarily call this a blitz from this big from UCLA, but he's going to come up and he's going to apply some pressure on John Mobley Jr. Now, what you could see at this point is you could see a nice little pocket pass to Amari Bynum. Probably see some help here, and then Christoph Tilly could go with a 45 cut. You'd also have an option here with Devin Royal as well. But that's why you love to put these advantageous positions for Ohio State offensively. You love to put them in those positions because then defensively you've got decisions to make, and as long as you make the right decision offensively, you should be getting a bucket. So what we're going to see here is John Mobley Jr. I mean, he's going to again get a step. They completely switch off. John Mobley Jr., he realizes that he's going to work and work and work this big, and right here you've got a great job by John Mobley Jr. getting the momentum, going downhill, and you see this defender is ready basically to cut him off baseline. John Mobley Jr. is going to say, yeah, I'm actually not going to go that direction. I'm going to take a pull-up 3. And there's not a lot of space here for John Mobley Jr. This is something that makes him really, really impressive as well. There's not a lot of space. You're going to see a really strong closeout here as well, all up in his business. I mean, inches away from our feet touching here, and John Mobley Jr. still says, I'm going to let it fly, and I'm going to hit it. So this is where Ohio State uses that dribble handoff action to get John Mobley Jr. open. They get an advantage offensively with a guard getting guarded by a big. John Mobley Jr. works him one dribble, pull up, and then cash money. But what if I told you there's more to this dribble handoff game with John Mobley Jr. and Ohio State that meets the eye? John Mobley Jr. is right here. Bruce and Junie are just going to kind of trade here, which is fine. You're kind of looking for something. Christoph Tilly's not going to get anything here down low. John Mobley Jr. trades with Bruce Thornton. Christoph Tilly gets the ball. Let's pause right here. We know exactly what's going to happen here, especially if you watch Ohio State enough. You know that Ohio State they like their horns actions for sure. They love their dribble handoff as well, especially with the Bruce Thornton and especially with the John Mobley Jr. So John Mobley Jr. is going to come this way toward the ball. He's going to take the dribble handoff from Christoph Tilly. And right here, we have a decision to make. Now, if you're Donovan Dent, one thing that you want to do is if you're going to shoot this gap, this shoulder right here has got to duck. It has got to get low, and you have got to fight through toward John Mobley Jr. Unfortunately, Donovan Dent does not do that. John Mobley Jr. has Donovan Dent on his hip, which means we have a decision now for this big from UCLA. Are you going to play drop coverage? If so, John Mobley Jr. is going to cook. If not, he's going to have a decision to make here. And you see, I mean, it's this quickly. John Mobley Jr., he feels Donovan Dent on his back. And because we don't see immediately a step up here and helping out from the big. John Mobley Jr. says, I will take that. I will take the three. He wants to foul as well. I mean, look at how much. This is, again, just showing the range, the quick trigger, the release point from John Mobley Jr. to be able to get this shot off and make it as well. That's huge for Ohio State. That's another way where Ohio State will use dribble handoff, use John Mobley Jr. to get quick buckets as well. Now, I throw this play in here because, yes, it is impressive. It's a nice shot made by John Mobley Jr., but I want you to watch another dribble handoff action because it sets up the last play that we're going to look at here in the dribble handoff. John Mobley Jr. is right here, as you can obviously see. Christoph Tilley is going to get the basketball here from Bruce Thornton, and he's going to have an opportunity to get the ball to John Mobley Jr. As we see, Bruce Thornton swings it over to Christoph Tilley. Christoph Tilley not really looking for a three here. You're going to see John Mobley Jr. is just going to come fill and replace for Bruce Thornton. And again, we've got a dribble handoff. Now here, we have this defender really trying to fight through. You see, he tried to sink down. He tried to get that shoulder low, which is exactly what you want to do when you're fighting through ball screens, when you're fighting through those dribble handoff, pick and roll actions. But again, we have a situation here where the big, he's not as concerned with John Mobley Jr., which means what should happen is John Mobley Jr. should take a shot. He's going to get a little bit more space here because I don't know. You could ask him. Maybe he remembers this play, but I think he felt a little bit more pressure at this point right here. I guess let me erase this. Get to my eraser. Probably at this-ish point, he maybe felt a little bit more pressure on his back and felt like he needed a little bit more space. So he's going to take a real long dribble here. Look at the amount of room he gets. I mean, the ball, he gets the ball at the top of the key. He's going to work all the way to the right wing off one dribble, pull up, and he's going to get his toes in line. He's going to rise up, and he'll fire away from three. Boom, that's in. Now, you see these plays. I want you to see the next one off the dribble handoff. That's really, really interesting. Now, here's a play that I absolutely love from Ohio State. Yes, it is in the TCU game, in which they lost. Very tough loss, but this play was really, really nice. It was really, really impressive. Here's John Mobley Jr. right here. Let's get into seeing what happens here with Ohio State. So, here we go. Devin Royal is going to get the ball to Christoph Tilley. Christoph Tilley is going to work this way. Now, if you've been paying attention to this video, what do you expect to see from John Mobley Jr. here? If Christoph Tilley is going to come this way with the ball, most likely you're probably expecting to see John Mobley Jr. then come this way and get the dribble handoff. Now, Brock Harding, I believe, is a guy guarding John Mobley Jr. here. He had an exceptional steal rate. He was a really good defender for TCU last year. TCU loves pressure. At times, when you love pressure, that means that you might overcommit. And let's see what happens here with John Mobley Jr. I'm going to do this slowly. So let's go right here. Okay. Christoph Tilley has got the ball. And if you're reading John Mobley Jr., and look at Brock Harding, man. He's trying to be sneaky with it, but he's ready to go jump out in this passing lane. He wants his ball side hand out there, and he wants to be gone, scoring 2 points for TCU on the other end. He's ready for the dribble handoff, and he's ready probably to fight through and shoot through that gap as well. He's going to play super aggressive here. Now you're going to see John Mobley Jr., his direction, his momentum is taking him this way. You're expecting him to move in that direction and take the dribble handoff. Instead, and again, I think this is just Ohio State building off of what they've done all year offensively. You're not going to see that from John Mobley Jr. Instead, you're going to see a quick jab here. Man, he's ready to go get that ball. And instead, John Mobley Jr., boom. Brock Harding, you are in trouble. Because as the saying goes, if he's even, he's leaving. There is no one here on this side of the floor for TCU defensively. And because of that, that means that John Mobley Jr. is going to have an opportunity to do pretty much whatever he wants. Let's get into it. John Mobley Jr. is gone, by the way. Brock Harding overplays this. I believe that's Brock Harding. If not, that's my bad. I believe that's Brock Harding. But he overplays it. John Mobley Jr. is going to go with a backdoor cut, and he's going to get the ball in his hands. Easy layup. And by the way, let's go when John Mobley Jr., when he gets the ball here. At this point, I mean, look at, you've got 1, You've got 2. You've got 3. He's unaware. Is that David Punch? I don't remember. This guy back to the basket. This guy's looking at Devin Royal, or potentially he's looking at getting his picture taken there. I don't know exactly where he's at there, but no one is seeing what's happening here with John Mobley Jr. All the action. You're probably expecting some kind of 3-man action here with Amari Bynum, Bruce Thornton, and Devin Royal as well. But instead, John Mobley Jr., he gets the ball, he goes straight to the basket. There's no one there available. That is a way Ohio State uses the dribble handoff, the DHO actions to build off John Mobley Jr. He's a great decision maker there at times off the dribble handoff as well. Obviously, he can make shots, he can make 3-pointers, and now you're seeing the ability to get to the rim as well. Okay, so we've built off of John Mobley's 3-point shooting. We've built off his ability in the dribble handoff. Now we have a new area where John Mobley Jr. has really been good for Ohio State. So you're going to see John Mobley Jr. standing right here. Bruce Thornton's going to get the ball to Devin Royal right here. And again, John Mobley Jr. is going to have an opportunity to be creative with the ball in his hands. So Bruce Thornton, actually, he goes to Christoph Tilly. That's my bad. Christoph Tilly is going to get the ball. And remember, TCU, a really, really aggressive defense. We saw that. If you're going to choke here, if you're going to help a little bit on Christoph Tilly, man, and a choke or a dig is generally just one step toward the ball and away from your man to kind of apply some pressure and hopefully force the ball back away from the guy who has the ball. John Mobley Jr. is going to get the ball here. He's actually going to come toward the defense, go toward the help. And because you are so worried about John Mobley Jr. as a 3-point shooter, I mean, look at this closeout here. You got 2 high hands. Great job by the TCU defender, but you got to be ready to slide laterally against a guy like John Mobley Jr. as well. John Mobley Jr. is going to take it inside because he gets the overcommitment here on the really, really hard closeout, especially with that jab to the right side. He's going to take it left side, and then John Mobley Jr., you're going to see this in the next couple of clips here. He does a great job against bigs. What you want to do, and the fact that he's going to end up making this shot is insane, but what you want to do is you want to kind of split the difference here between the big and the guard that you just beat. That's what John Mobley Jr. does. This is an incredibly tough shot to make. Contested, he hits the floater. Now, this play is really fun as well. John Mobley Jr. has got the ball at the top of the key right here. Initially, and Nebraska is a little bit out of sorts here. I don't know what happened in the previous seconds here to get Nebraska kind of out of sorts. Nebraska was one of the best paint defenses in all of college basketball, not just Big Ten, but all of college basketball last season. John Mobley Jr. is going to have an opportunity to make a play here. You got Sam Hoiberg. He's going to most likely come here with a really, really hard closeout because it is John Mobley Jr. You don't want to allow him to get a 3 off. So he does. I mean, he closes out hard here. He's trying to cut John Mobley Jr. off and force him into the help. They want to force him inside of the paint because they don't think John Mobley Jr. is all that great here. Now, John Mobley Jr. is going to have a decision here. I can drive, and if I get some help here, I could kick it out to Amari Bynum. That's certainly an option for me. Or I can drive, and if I don't get a lot of help here from the big, I can take the shot. What John Mobley Jr. is going to do here is he's going to see this big vacate the paint. And when you vacate the paint, you've got this open area. Look, Rink Mast right here. He's going to have to basically come out and help. I believe that's Rink Mast. He's going to have to come out and help here on John Mobley Jr. And what you see again is he splits the difference. He gets Hoiberg on his back, and then he's got Rink Mast. He's just straight up here. It's not really all that hard of a closeout, but John Mobley Jr. will take the shot. The floater goes up with it, and I mean, man, he goes right into Mast. That probably should foul, and it was actually. Turns out I didn't realize it was a foul. John Mobley Jr. makes the floater, really impressive shot as well, making another example of John Mobley Jr. making a shot over a bigger man on a drive in to the rim. All right, so we've got one other area of John Mobley Jr.'s game. All right, so we've got one other area of John Mobley Jr.'s game here to discuss in this video, and that is passing. Right now, we've got a guy ready to cut off John Mobley Jr. right here. You probably got another guy who can come help. You got another guy on his back and on his hip. There's a lot of action here for John Mobley Jr. And hey, look, if you're an insider subscriber, you should remember this play. That's for sure. John Mobley Jr. is going to use vision here. I mean, look at this. Where is this ball going right now? Gabe Cupps, shout out Gabe Cupps. He's going to find his way behind the three-point line. Beautiful pass from John Mobley Jr. with traffic in his face, right in the shooter's pocket. John Mobley Jr. to Gabe Cupps. They hit the three. Big time three, by the way, for Ohio State. Boy, did we have a lot of hope after that shot. Yeah, we did. Now, I didn't know which of the next two plays to show specifically in terms of sequence. I guess I'll go with this one next. We've got a play here where John Mobley Jr. has got the ball here. He's got a big on him. That's Tyler Bilodeau. I have a crush on Tyler Bilodeau. I think he's a really, really good basketball player. I don't know where he is today. I don't know if he's still got eligibility at UCLA. I don't remember. But he's a really, really good basketball player. So John Mobley Jr. is going to have a work on a big here. And he's going to work him. He's going to go with a hard cross. And what you can see is, you can see a little duck in maybe here from Christoph Tilly. You can see a little 45 cut here from Amari Bynum potentially. But what John Mobley Jr. needs to do here is he needs to make the right decision. He's got a big on him. That's an advantage. You got to make the right decision when you have an advantage. Right here, he's going to see, look, Amari Bynum, he's going to probably try to go, this would be more of a C cut at this point than a 45 cut. Christoph Tilly is going to go from the high paint into the short paint. And this is a pretty easy look here from John Mobley Jr. to find Christoph Tilly. Little no look too. Naughty from John Mobley Jr. He's looking at maybe Amari Bynum, who's wide open on a 45 cut action at this point, but he's going to go to Christoph Tilly. No look pass. Tilly, finish that. Yes, points. Ohio State really handled UCLA in this game as well. All right, so this is the last play we'll show of John Mobley Jr. with the ball in his hands as a passer. He's just going to get down the floor at this point, all right? I probably don't even need to announce that. We could have just watched it all together here. He's going to get down the floor, and what you're going to see is, where's Christoph Tilly? Christoph Tilly is a trail man. He's going to get his butt down the floor and into the paint. That's a good stretch five right there. You want to see a good rim runner. That's what Christoph Tilly did a pretty solid job of, I feel like, last season. So John Mobley Jr., ball in his hands. He's gonna have a little not even a ghost screen, just Christoph Tilly kind of getting in position there to maybe set a screen. And again, you have a decision to make. Now, here's where I think John Mobley Jr.'s game could improve a little bit coming into his junior year at Ohio State. One thing that we saw from John Mobley Jr. last year, in my opinion, was sometimes, especially in close quarters, he kind of struggled with decision-making, maybe a little slow on decision-making. What I would want to see is, I want to see John Mobley Jr. transfer that ball from his right hand to his left hand and just give a little pocket pass right here so that Christoph Tilly can go to the basket and work on this young man right here. Instead, and a lot of fans probably remember this play, it ended up looking a little bit more impressive, but instead, John Mobley Jr., he takes a beat longer. And this TCU defender, he's already working his way over at this point. He's working his way toward Christoph Tilly. This pass is nearly stolen. Christoph Tilly shows really, really strong hands. He's nimble, quick little spin move, and he makes the shot. But what I would want to see from John Mobley Jr. is, I want to see him get the ball out just a beat quicker, so that you can essentially see Christoph Tilly get the ball cleanly, go up, make a shot, maybe get fouled as well. But the vision is there from John Mobley Jr. We've seen it before. That's something that we want to continue to see John Mobley improve in this upcoming year as well.